You're welcome to the channel. I'm Jamila of JSR Fashion Academy, and in this video we'll be learning how to draft a half scale basic bodice using the bust arc formula. Okay, so and this method works so perfectly well. So if this sounds like what you are interested in, please guys stick around with me till the end of this video. Okay, so now without much ado, let's delve straight into the tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'll be leaving the measurement illustration on the screen for you guys to understand what we are actually talking about in this video. Okay, so now first thing first is this: the measurement you'll be needing for this is your bust measurement, your waist measurement, because it's going to be half scale basic body. That is going to be from your shoulder to your natural waist. Okay, so you need your bust measurement, your waist measurement, your shoulder to your waist. Okay, that is your front length. You need your front length measurement because the front and the back is not always the same, because we have the bust in front and we have nothing at the back. Okay, so you need your front length, you need your back length, you need your shoulder measurement. Okay, you need your shoulder measurement that you'll be needing for this. Okay, so I'll try as much as possible to make it very easy for you guys to understand. Okay, so now first thing first is this. So we're going to be drawing a starting point line of 1 inch. Okay, that is the first step. Okay, we'll draw a starting point line of 1 inch. So just follow this and you will get it accurately. So it's grab the starting point of 1 inch, then you draw your so this is the starting point line. Okay, so all your vertical measurements is going to be starting from the starting point line. Okay, so the next thing we need to do now is to create our box. Now, how do you create your box? Okay, that is for both the front and back. So what you need to do is this: you need to consider your biggest measurement. Okay, now the measurement we are working with, or the circumferential measurement we're working with on this pattern is your bust measurement and your waist measurement. So the bust I'm working with here is bust of 35, and the waist I'm working with here is waist of 28. Okay, so you can see that the bust is bigger than the waist. Okay, so the bust measurement is going to be used to consider the amount of block that we're going to be having on this pattern. I hope you understand. So now once we have determined that, so now you are going to be, because we are going to be drafting the front and back simultaneously. So once you have determined that, we are going to be dividing our 35 by 2. Okay, you first divide your 35 by 2 because we are going to be creating a block for both the front and the back. Okay, so 35 divided by 2, we are having 17.5, right? So because you need a dart on this pattern, you need extra ease on this pattern, you need to add like 3 inches to 4 inches. Okay, so that you have enough ease on the pattern. Okay, so 17.5, I'm going to be adding like 4 inches. Okay, so 17 plus 4, that is 17.5 plus 4, that is 21.5. Okay, so I'm going to be adding 21.5. So it's better for you to have extra on your pattern than for you not to even have anything at all. So that's why I'm adding 4 inches. You can decide to add 2 inches, 3 inches. Okay, depending on what you are comfortable with. So but me, I like having excess on my pattern. That is why I'm adding like 4 inches to it. Okay, so I'll take from here to this part 21.5. that is for both the front and the back. So I'm going to be taking the 21.5 like so. Now, after taking your 21.5, remember we are creating a block. Okay, we are creating a block. So the next thing you need to do now is to get your shoulder to your front length. Okay, your shoulder to your natural waistline. Okay, that is for the front, which is, I'm making use of 17 inches. Okay, that is my front length. Okay, so you're going to be getting your 17 inches like so. I hope you guys are understanding this. Okay, so 17 inches, right? Then you're going to be drawing a line like this. Okay, then you draw your line this way. Okay, so we have successfully created a block for both our front and the back. Okay, now remember that, know that this block that we have created, we've just created the block for the front and the back, so we need to indicate that of the front and that of the back. So now how do you go about it? What I'm going to do now is this: I am going to further take my tape like so to 21.5, measure from this one end to the other end, and divide it into 2. That is to get the front and the back. Okay, so I'll divide it into 2, then mark what I have here. I hope you guys are getting it. Mark what I have, which is 10.5. Then I'll bring it all the way down. 10.5. Okay, so I would mark it like so. Okay, so now we can indicate here to be the back and here to be the center front. So we've gone ahead to divide our block into front and back. Okay, so here is the center back and here is the center front. So the next, now the front length we are working with here is 17. I hope you guys are understanding this. The front length we are working with here is 17, and the my back length is shorter than my front length by 1.5. Okay, so that means we are going to be having 15.5 for our back length. So it's very simple. What you're going to do now is, after creating your block this way, using your front length to create your block, you will just go up by 1.5. That is by the amount of inches that the back length is shorter than the front length. I hope you understand. So go up by 1.5. Then you can measure from your shoulder down here to make it to get your back length as well, 15.5. You see that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll rule the line. Okay, so here is the from here to here now is the shoulder to our waistline for the back. So here is going to be out. Don't worry guys, I'll show you guys how you can actually make the front and the back equal after drafting your pattern. So the next thing we need to do now is to go into the drafting proper. The next thing we need to do now is to get all the vertical measurement. Now, how do you get the vertical measurement? You need your shoulder to your armhole line, okay, or to your bust line, okay. So now, how do you calculate your shoulder to your bust line? You are going to take your bust divided by 6, okay. That is to get your armhole length. You can call it the armhole line, the chest line, or the bust line, okay. So your bust divided by 6. The answer you get plus 1.5. Okay, for a bigger size you can use plus 2. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. I'll take my tape to the shoulder line here. Here's my shoulder line, and take my bust divided by 6 is plus 1.5 is 7.5, right? It's 7.5, but we are going to be going down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope and the back. So we are going to be adding the 1 inch to the 7.5. I hope you understand. Okay, you are going to be adding the 1 inch to the 7.5, making 8.5. Okay, so that means the armhole we are going to be having here is 8.5. Okay, for both your front and your back. I hope you get. Okay, so here's our 8.5, then I would mark. Okay, so guys, here is the chest line. Okay, here's our chest line. So now we've already gotten our chest line and we've gotten our waistline. So the next thing we need to do now is to impute our shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement I'm working with here is 15. Okay, please take use of your own shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement here I'm working with here is 15. So we are going to be dividing your 15 into 2 because we have the front on fold and the back on fold. So you're going to be dividing your 15 by 2, which is 7.5. Okay, so if your own is 16, you divide it by 2. That is how to go about it. So this is the front. Then you go to the back and do the same thing for the back as well. 7.5. Okay, 7.5. Now after doing that, the next thing you need to do now is to get our shoulder slope. You know the shoulder slope is flat, okay, is slopey. Okay, now the shoulder slope is a constant. The shoulder slope for the front is going to be 1.5, is a constant. Okay, and that of the back is 1 inch. Okay, that of the back is 1 inch. Okay, so when you are done with that, we'll stop here and we will take our neckline measurement. Now, how do you get your neckline if you don't want to make use of 3 by 3 inches? That is a standard. Okay, so now what is the formula for calculating your neckline measurement? You are going to how to get your neckline measurement is this: your bust divided by 8. Okay, so the answer you get, you further divide the answer you get by 2. Then when you the answer you get by dividing by 2, you are going to be adding 1 inch to it. That is your bust divided by 8. Then you further divide by 8 again plus 1 inch. It will give you your actual neckline measurement. Okay, so here is giving me 3.25. Okay, here is giving me 3.25. You can still go ahead and make use of the basic standard neckline, which is 3 by 3. Okay, so 3.25. Then I'll also come down by 3.25. Okay, I'll also come down by 3.25. Then I'll take my ruler and connect. Okay, so this is the neckline. Now for the back as well, so I'll take 3.25. Okay, then I'll come down by 1 inch. That is the standard for the back. Then I'll make my connection like so. Okay, so now we've done the neckline. Now the next thing we need to do now is to draw our shoulder line. So from this point here, I'm going to be drawing my shoulder line like this, and from this point I'm going to be drawing my shoulder line like this. Okay, so we've drawn our shoulder line for both the front and the back. So the next thing we need to do now is to get the shoulder measurement you have here. You're going to be imputing it on your chest line. Okay, so which is 7.5 from here, so you impute 7.5 here as well. Then you do the same thing to the back, 7.5. Okay, 7.5. Then you are going to make your connection, or you can make use of a broken line, but I'll make use of a pen because this might not be needed at the end of the day. So I'll make use of a pen. It's not going to be that visible. Okay, so now once that is done, the next thing you need to do now is you're going to be going for the front part to get our armhole curve. For the front part is a constant. You're going to be going up by 2 inches. Okay, you go up by 2 inches is a constant. Now for the back, you're going to take your tape this way. Okay, that's from this shoulder slope to your chest line, and divide it by 2. Okay, divide it by 2. So now for the armhole dip, we are going to be going here by half. Okay, now for the front here, you are going to be going here by 0.75. For a plus size, you can go in here by 0.5. 0.5 is still very okay. Okay, so once you are done with that, you are going to be connecting it like this. Okay, then you connect it like this. Okay, so we'll stop here for now. So guys, I need you guys to pay attention to this. Remember, remember our front and our back. Okay, the woman body, the front and the back, because of the bust, is fuller than that of the back because we have nothing at the back. Okay, so I'm going to be using this method here, and it works so perfectly well. I've tried it, and trust me guys, it's very, very okay. So I'm going to be making use of this. I'll measure my front bust first. Okay, I'm going to be measuring my front bust and my round bust. Okay, so the front bust I'm working with here, I'll show you guys how to do that on the screen. Okay, so to be measuring from one end of your front, okay, to the other end of the front. I'll make the illustration on the screen. Okay, so now instead of dividing, going to do now to get your bust measurement, okay, we're not going to be dividing our bust by 4. Okay, so the bust I'm working with here, my round bust is 35, but guys, I am not going to be dividing my 35 by 4. What I'm going to do now is this: I'll measure my front bust. Okay, so we are creating this pattern to conform to the human body. Okay, so I'll measure my round bust, so my front bust, that is from one end of your bust to the other end of your bust. Okay, so I measure my round bust, my front bust. Okay, that is my front bust arc. So the front bust I'm working with here is 19. Okay, now we are going to be dividing the 19 by 2. Okay, so your 19 divided by 2 is going to be what you are going to be having as your bust measurement for the front. Okay, so you divide your 19 by 2. Okay, so this is it. This is my 19 inches divided by 2. I hope you understand this. Okay, it's very simple guys, just take your time and you understand it. So 19 divided by 2 is going to be giving us 9.5. so what I'm going to do now is I am going to connect it like so. You make your connection like so. Okay, so this is it. right? So the next thing we need to do now, we've successfully drafted this. So the next thing we need to do now, let's create our nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, so the nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with here is 7, right? So 7 divided by 2, you're going to be dividing by 2 because we have our front folded into 2. Okay, so 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So I'll be taking my 3.5 all the way down. Okay, then you take your shoulder to your nipple point. Okay, you measure it, take your shoulder to your nipple point. The shoulder to nipple point I'm working with here is 9.5. Okay, it's 9.5 inches. So I'll take my 9.5 inches all the way. Okay, I'll take my 9.5 inches all the way, right? So now what we are going to do next is this. Now this is what I do most times when I want to take my waist measurements. I like snatching by 1, it will still enter. Okay, but if you're not okay with this, with removing 1 inch from your waist measurement, it's still very okay. Okay, but if I'm making a half scale basic bodice pattern, okay, I like taking 1 inch from my waist measurement and it fits perfectly well. Okay, so now the waist I'm working with here is 28. So 28 minus 1 is 27, right? So you're going to be dividing the 27 by 4. Okay, you divide your 27 by 4. Okay, but if you don't want to remove 1 inch from your waist, it's still very okay. Okay, so 27 divided by 4, it's 27 divided by 4 is going to be giving us 6.75. Okay, let's make it 6.75. So 6.75. So the 6.75, right? 6.75 plus, we are going to be making use of a dart here. Okay, so I'm making use of 0.75 inch dart here. Okay, for a bigger person, you can make use of 1 inch on both sides. So 6.75 plus 1.5 for our dart. I hope you understand. That's for the waist dart. So this is 6.5, then plus 1.5 for our waist dart. Okay, so I am going to be connecting it like so. Okay, I'm going to be connecting like so. So once that is done, the next thing now we need to do now is to impute the waist dart. Okay, so I'm making use of, I added 0.7, I added 1.5 for the waist dart and for the dart. Okay, that means 0.75, 0.75. So I'll take my 0.75 here and take my 0.75 here. Then I am going to be connecting it like so. Okay, so we are done for the front. Now let's move over to the back. So